Hello guys, today we learn how to get the value of drop-down list on select index chain. As we know that there is no server controls, so let us see how can we achieve. We have required Visual Studio 15, MVC 5 version and SQL Server 2012 or any version. Let us see our output like this: product name, category and category name. When we select category, then category name will be bind upon index. Let us see how we step follow. First we need a open Visual Studio and add new project and also add a home controller, and second one add a ADO.NET entry model in folders to connect the database and get some public properties and EDMX files, and after that we add the index view for home controllers. Then we have to write some code, bind drop down list from the database, and also we need jQuery to write the code or index change, and after submit button we save the data in the database. Let us see. First, we need create a table categories, master categories. Here, category ID and category name. We have defined primary key clusters and category ID, and their data should be like category ID and category name. One, children bicycle. Two, comfort bicycle. Three, cruiser bicycle. Four, 10. Thus, there is 7 data in the categories table for master use. And there is one transactions table add bicycle where we have added the data which are displaying in view like id. We have taken um, identity column and product names, and also cat id of selected drop down and category name visually. Now we can see here our empty project will be created and project name drop down list in index change. There is controller. Our first work is create a controllers. Add, click on controllers. Specify controller empty and click on add. Name of the controller I have to put here home controllers and click on the add button. Now you can see here home controllers with index method has been created. Now I have to add view for this controller. Add view. Click on add. If use a layout page. If there is no layout page you have created, then it will automatically create the layout page and click on add. See here your index.html view has been created and there is home controllers. Now go to the models folders. There is model folder. Click on add new items and click on data. Selected your .NET entry data model, click on add. EF designer from database, click on next. Click new connections, put the computer name or server name, SQL Server authentications, put here user ID password based upon your database, and I have select a sample database where our categories table will be here. Click test connection, succeeded, and click on OK. Yes, includes sensitive data and sample entities will be saved in this web config file and click on next button. You have to select here entity framework 6 and click on next buttons. Now I have to choose the tables. First you have categories where date masters, category masters, and transaction table where data will be saved. I have selected two tables, add bicycles and categories, and click on finish. So you can see here model1.edmx file will be added. Like first one, categories, their properties, category ID and category name. Another one is add bicycle, which are transaction table, ID, product name, category name. Go to solution expression explorer, and you can see here model on 1.edmx, and there is class file. First one is categories, class category, category ID and category name, public properties, and other one add bicycle. It is also public properties with getter and setter. We can see here model is added. Now next step, our go to home controllers, and also we have to follow index view where data will be shown. So first we need to write some code here to populate the drop down list from the data. You can see here home controllers and there is index method. Now I have to write the code to bind the drop down list from the database. Now sample db entity, sample entity object db equal new sample db entities, where we have defined during creation of EDMX files. Now add namespace for these models. Also, I have to save the data in, as you know, I have to save data in database according to the product name, category and category name. So I have to make here view models with get public property at class view models product. Click on it. So our view model with add product will be created and paste this value. Like product name, you have seen here product name, category ID means you have to define cat ID, and category name, and you have to populate the drop down list. So I have added here. So I have to bind the drop down list. So I have added here public list, selected list item, make object category and get set. So you can see here according to that model we will add the data in database. So make a object in view model, view model, object of view model equal to new view models. Now I have to bind drop down list. So object vm dot category equal to populate category. Now I have to write the code for populate category. Here we can define private method static with list of selected list item for binding drop down list and name of the function populate category. Here define list selected list item, items equal to new selected list items. And now I have accessing sample entities db new sample entities and restore the result of where results equal to db dot categories. Get the all the data in result set, and after that you have bind the text and value property of the list. So for each loop you have added where item in results and item dot add new select list items, text equal to item dot category name, and value equal to item dot category id to strings, and I have to return the items, means items. So that function will return as a collection of items, populate category. Now here you have defined drop down list with the index change model. So I have to add, go to index page and write here model paste dot view model add product. Now I have to write some code here for text box and drop down list. So I have put here headline is to get the value of drop down list and selected index change. Now I have used at the rate of using HTML begin forms, index and home controllers and form method post. I have defined table and one tr with two td like product name here strongly bind. HTML.text box for text.product name, same category, HTML drop down list put here, and I have defined x equal to greater x dot cat id, which I have defined in the cat id in the view model property. So I have take cat id to accessing their selected item. And I have put here model dot category, which I have defined in the home controllers, means category, so that will be accessible in the view. So I have defined here return to view, and I have choose a new category, and I also you can define the new class at the rate of class form control, like here is a bootstrap css which are added in the layout page. Now category name, I have defined HTML text box for x equal to x dot category name. When we change select the drop down list, that value will be binded in the text box. Now you can see, and also we have add submit button, input type submit equal to submit. Okay, now we write here a code jQuery document ready function dollar has cat id on change function. Here we get the value of drop down DB entities, object model, populate categories, object of categories, and return with view. Now run the application. You can see here product name is text box, and there is category, choose category children bicycle, and this one. That value will fill from the database through integrated model, and here is category name. Whenever you choose any category like electric bikes, that value will be filled. Here you can see no value fill. So we have to check out any issue in the applications. We have noticed here. Now we can see here our jQuery will be in bottom. So cut from here and paste in the head and refresh the page. Choose category. Now you can see here text box will be filled whatever I have selected: road bikes, cruiser bicycles, and children bicycles. Now I have to write some code to save the value which are showing here, like product name, category ID, and their category name from the text box. So go to home controllers and write code copy this one index method, put here post and http posts, and also I have write down here object models, object view models. So I have write some code. Sample db int teach db new sample db int teach. Now we have to write the code to save the data in database. So I make sample db int teach equal to new sample db int teach, and there is object add bicycle which are table name. I make a object, and also this is a property. You can check property from here. Go to models and add bicycle. You can see add bicycles, and there id with properties. Go to home controllers, and I put here like object add bicycle, and whatever you see from the view, we can take the value from this to this object. Cat id to cat id and category name to category name. At last db dot add bicycle dot add object. Object means object add bicycle, which get list of data, and finally we have to save changes. So we can see here. Now run the application. We get the value from drop down list and selected index change. Put here cycles and category name I have chosen children bicycles. That text box will also will bind. If you change, this will change. So now I have changed to children bicycle and click on submit button. Whatever you have put on the view, that value will become here. See here. Category name children bicycle, product name cycle, and cat ID 1. So this way we get the value. Product name, cat ID, category names, and whenever TP save changes, that data will be saved in database. So now we can check it. Select star from add bicycle and click on execute. So you can see here product name, cycle, category ID 1, and category name which are choose from the text box value. So you can see here achieve our goals like change the category, and category name will be bound in text box. So finally we can say that in short, like we have created home controllers, there is models, and in property add bicycle and category, and also one I have created view model products. That view model through data will be saved, and there is home controllers. In home controllers I have write a code to populate drop downs category, populate category. That category will be here, and list define public list selected list item category get set objects, and after that we define make some HTML control like HTML text box, razor, syntax for text box and drop down list. Here you write cat id model dot category which define in home controllers and choose category comma new, and also you can put the class name form control whatever you have write the class names, and category name I've defined. Then also I put some text box for strongly bind with result views and X category name, and put here submit button, and in last document some jQuery function to fill the data in text box from the drop down list. So I have function unchanged, that is id of the drop down, change function name and category name, this is a text box id, and from the field category id means drop down id dot text. If you want to bind value, so we write here val, that value will say fill in the category name, and from this view we can see the final output. Thanks for watching. If you want to view more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.